Okay, good evening. We're back with 1 Samuel chapter 3. The Lord speaks to Samuel. Meanwhile, the boy Samuel was serving the Lord by assisting Eli. Now, in those days, messages from the Lord were very rare, and visions were quite uncommon. One night, Eli, who was almost blind by now, had just gone to bed. The lamp of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was sleeping in the tabernacle near the ark of God. Suddenly, the Lord called out, "Samuel, Samuel!" "Yes," Samuel replied. "What is it?" He jumped up and ran to Eli. "Here I am. What do you need?" "I didn't call you," Eli replied. "Go on back to bed." So he did. Then the Lord called out again, "Samuel." Again, Samuel jumped up and ran to Eli. "Here I am," he said. "What do you need?" "I didn't call you, my son," Eli said. "Go back to bed." Samuel did not yet know the Lord, because he had never had a message from the Lord before. So now the Lord called a third time, and once more Samuel jumped up and ran to Eli. "Here I am," he said. "What do you need?" Then Eli realized it was the Lord who was calling the boy, so he said to Samuel, "Go and lie down again, and if someone again calls again, say, 'Yes, Lord, your servant is listening.'" So Samuel went to bed, and the Lord came and called as before, "Samuel, Samuel." And Samuel replied, "Yes, your servant is listening." Then the Lord said to Samuel, "I am about to do a shocking thing in Israel. I am going to carry out all my threats against Eli and his family, and I have warned him continually that judgment is coming for his family because his sons are blaspheming God, and he hasn't disciplined them. So I have vowed that the sins of Eli and his sons will never be forgiven by sacrifices or offerings." Samuel speaks for the Lord. Samuel stayed in bed until morning, then got up and opened the doors of the tabernacle as usual. He was afraid to tell Eli what the Lord had said to him, but Eli called out to him, "Samuel, my son." "Here I am," Samuel replied. "What did the Lord say to you? Tell me everything, and may God punish you if you hide anything from me." So Samuel told Eli everything. He didn't hold anything back. "It is the Lord's will," Eli replied. "Let him do what he thinks best." As Samuel grew up, the Lord was with him, and everything Samuel said was wise and helpful, and all the people of Israel from one end of the land to the other knew that Samuel was confirmed as a prophet of the Lord. The Lord continued to appear at Shiloh and give messages to Samuel there at the tabernacle. And Samuel's words went out to all the people of Israel. 1 Samuel chapter 4. The Philistines capture the ark. At the same time, Israel was at war with the Philistines. The Israelite army was camped near Ebenezer, and the Philistines were at Aphek. The Philistines attacked and defeated the army of Israel, killing 4,000 men. After the battle was over, the army of Israel retreated to their camp, and their leaders asked, "Why did the Lord allow us to be defeated by the Philistines?" Then they said, "Let's bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord from Shiloh, and if we carry it into battle with us, it will save us from our enemies." So they sent men to Shiloh to bring back the ark of the covenant of the Lord Almighty, who is enthroned between the cherubim. Hophni and Phinehas, the sons of Eli, helped carry the ark of God, to where the battle was being fought. When the Israelites saw the ark of the covenant of the Lord coming into the camp, their shout of joy was so loud that it made the ground shake. "What's going on?" the Philistines asked. "What's all the shouting about in the Hebrew camp?" When they were told it was because the ark of the Lord had arrived, they panicked. "The gods have come to their camp," they cried. This is a disaster. We have never had to face anything like this before. Who can save us from these mighty gods of Israel? They are the same gods who destroyed the Egyptians with plagues when Israel was in the wilderness. Fight as you never have before, Philistines. If you don't, we will become the Hebrew slaves just as they have been ours." So the Philistines fought desperately, and Israel was defeated again. The slaughter was great. 30,000 Israelite men died that day. The survivors turned and fled to their tents. The ark of God was captured, and Hophni and Phinehas, the sons of Eli, were killed. The death of Eli. A man from the tribe of Benjamin ran from the battlefield and arrived at Shiloh later that same day. He had torn his clothes and put dust on his head to show his grief. Eli was waiting beside the road to hear the news of the battle, for his heart trembled for the safety of the ark of God. When the messenger arrived and told what happened, an outcry resounded throughout the town. "What is all the noise about?" Eli asked. The messenger rushed over to Eli, who was 98 years old and blind. He said to Eli, I have just come from the battlefront. I was there this very day. What happened? Eli demanded. Israel has been defeated, the messenger replied. Thousands of Israelite troops are dead on the battlefield. Your two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were killed too, and the ark of God has been captured. When the messenger mentioned what had happened to the ark, Eli fell backward from his seat beside the gate. He broke his neck and died. He broke his neck and died, for he was old and very fat. He had led Israel for 40 years. Eli's daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, was pregnant and near her time of delivery when she heard the Ark of the Covenant had been captured and that her husband and father-in-law were dead. Her labor pains suddenly began. She died in childbirth, but before she passed away, the midwives tried to encourage her. Don't be afraid, they said. You have a baby boy. She did not answer or respond in any way. She named the child Ichabod. Where is the glory? Murmuring. Israel's glory is gone. She named him this because the ark of God had been captured and because her husband and her father-in-law were dead. Then she said, the glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God has been captured. 1 Samuel chapter 5. The ark in... how do you pronounce that? It's not Philistina. It's not... I forget how you pronounce that, darn it. After the Philistines captured the ark of God, they took it from the battleground at Ebenezer to the city of Ashdod. They carried the ark of God into the temple of Dagon and placed it beside the idol of Dagon. But when the citizens of Ashdod went to see it the next morning, Dagon had fallen with his face to the ground in front of the ark of the Lord. So they set the idol up again. But the next morning, the same thing happened. The idol had fallen face down before the ark of the Lord again. This time his head and hands had broken off and were lying in the doorway. Only the trunk of his body was left intact. This is why, to this day, neither the priest of Dagon nor anyone who enters the temple of Dagon will step on its threshold. Then the Lord began to afflict the people of Ashdod and the nearby villages with the plague of tumors. When the people realized what was happening, they cried out, we can't keep the ark of God of Israel here any longer. He's against us. We will all be destroyed along with our god Dagon. So they called together the rulers of the 5 Philistine cities and asked, what should we do with the ark of the God of Israel? The rulers discussed it and replied, move it to the city of Gath. So they moved the ark of God of Israel to Gath. But when the ark arrived at Gath, the Lord began afflicting his people, young and old, with a plague of tumors, and there was a great panic. So they sent the ark of God to the city of Ekron. But when the people of Ekron saw it coming, they cried out, they are bringing the ark of the God of Israel here to kill us too. So the people summoned the rulers again and begged them, please send the ark of the God of Israel back to his own country, or it will kill us all. For the plague of the God had already begun, and the great fear was sweeping across the city. Those who didn't die were afflicted with tumors, and there was weeping everywhere. Okay, and with that, I'll be back later with 1 Samuel chapter 6.